So, research and development. You know, if you're Ferrari or Lamborghini, you're probably thinking hermetically sealed room, blokes in lab coats and clipboards and crash test dummies full of high-tech gear. Well, I can tell you, here R&D is very different. You can forget clean and sterile. These blokes do their best work down in the dirt.
This is R&D the MDC way. Recently, Ruthie and a few of his MDC crew took 3 of their latest release trailers from the telly track to the very tip of Cape York, tackling every single lump, bump, corrugation and creek crossing along the way. Taking part in this ultimate off-road test were an Expedition Cruiser, an Expedition Venturer and an XT10 Caravan. In fact, the caravan in question actually belongs to MDC lead researcher / test pilot / crash test dummy Ken Hindley.
We take our research and development extremely seriously, and yeah, I've had this one for about 12 months now and done 60,000 kilometres. Vic High Country, Flinders Ranges, the desert, the Cape. And have a look at it. It stood up beautifully, but you know, it needs a bit of a buff and a few scratches taken out.
Just looks like it needs a bit of love.
Yeah.
That's all, a bit of tender love. Because from what I understand about you, you give these things an absolute flogging when you're out there.
Have a look at this. I've got a little bit here to show you. Have a look at that.
Yeah.
That's a telly track.
Mate, that's amazing.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of caravans on the telly track, I tell you.
It's a greatest hits collection to make a grown man cry. But for these guys, the theory is if Cano can't break it, well, it can't be broken.
What about when you get back here from a trip like the one you've been on, and you greet the boys in the factory with this?
Yeah,
do they just shake their heads at you?
Yeah, it sort of changes their demeanour a little bit when they see me pulling through the gates. They're like, oh, Cano's back.
You've got it up on the hoist here now, and apart from it needing a good wash, I mean, what have you found out?
I found out that the handle, if you rub it against a tree, it'll actually rip it off, but it has to be a fairly big tree. But other than that, the way that it stands up, the centre of gravity is really, really low, so you can put it on some fantastic angles. All the weight's very low in the trailer.
The XT10 Caravan is just one of the MDC lineup to come out of the factory here on Brisbane's south side, where basic rolling stock is turned into a full range of heavy-duty off-road camper trailers and caravans. It's a varied lineup, but they do share a few design elements. Take a look under any of the hard floor camper trailers or caravans and you'll find fully independent suspension as standard.
Yeah, and this is an entry-level hard floor, and this is the suspension that it comes with. Full wishbone, independent, double shock, coil over. Same that's under the caravans, and you've got your 15-inch electric brakes, so it's got stopping power. This thing will just walk over ruts and holes, and it protects your gear, because a solid axle shakes. A constant action causes a reaction, so it shakes all your gear around, whereas you've got your independent. Your suspension is protecting your gear, because if that drops into a hole, then this side stays stable.
You'll find MDC showrooms in every capital city. Here in Brisbane, they're at Cooper's Plains. And if you're keen to see more of them in action, then coming up in the next couple of weeks, we'll be bringing you the full story of their recent trip to the Cape. From the telly track to the tip, if it's an adventure that you've got on your must-do list, then it's an episode you won't want to miss.
You know what? Over the years, better roads, better four-wheel drives, better access, more Australians get to come to the tip. It's a great sign, isn't it?